What's up, boys? So, got some more player props for you guys. First video on this channel talking about player props. Thank you for coming over for my other channel. For those of you that did subscribe on that channel, but we got a bunch of picks for you guys. If you guys are not already on PrizePicks, this video applies to all different websites. So, Fanduel, Sportsbook, BetMGM, PrizePicks, Underdogs. This applies to all of those, just player props in general. So, I'm gonna be doing that in today's video. But yeah, there's a bunch of sales going on for PrizePicks. If you guys are not already on PrizePicks, Paul George was just discounted to 22.5. So he's hit that 8 out of 10 times. You guys could have taken that. That deal is over. They did just drop a new one, so go ahead and take a look at that. But if you guys are not already on PrizePicks, link is in my description. Sign up using my code. First deposit match up to $100. Really does help me out. One more announcement before we go ahead and hop into this though. I just started a Patreon. That's in my description as well. We did pretty good over there. We were 10-5, so that was pretty good. My favorite picks were 3-1. We were off on 2 of those by half a point. Sabonis and Clint Capella. They screwed us over by half a point, both of them. So I really should have been 12-3 on the day, but and 4-0 on the favorite picks, but kind of got screwed a little bit. But it looks like the sale is for Desmond Ridder. So 199.5. He's hit that in 4 of his last 5. I'll have to go and take a look at that. That should be up for another hour. So you guys can go ahead and take that over if you guys would like. I still need to look at it, but he's usually about 244.5 is usually what he is. He's discounted by like 45 yards, so that could be a pretty good one. I know Ridder's a really good quarterback, but I'm not sure if he's going to be good against ECU or not. So, yeah, I'll have to take a look at that one after I'm done recording here. But they do a bunch of sales like that all the time. They just did Paul George Black Friday today. But, yeah, so if anyone is new, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe. Really just help me out. But enough talking, really long intro. Sorry about that. But let's go ahead and talk about some of these player props here. So I got my notes here. First one we're going to go and take a look at here is, we're going to take a look at points here. We're going to stay in the points category. We're going to go and take a look at here Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns was at 22.5. Pretty good line. He had 11, was not the greatest. He's only gone over in 2 out of his last 5, unfortunately. But 22, 21, barely under. That would be a pretty bad beat if he ended there today. Don't want to talk it into existence, but, and then 11 against Miami, unfortunately, but so center here playing against the Charlotte Hornets. So let's go ahead and take a look at that game here. So this game, starting at center, going against Mason Plumlee, but it's a 2-point spread. So really good, really close game. Should not have to worry about any blowouts or anything. There's also a really high point total. So it should be a lot of points scored in this game, which is pretty good for Anthony Towns. So looks good right there. Let's take a look though at centers against the Hornets and see where they rank. So the Hornets here are allowing the 3rd most points to the center position and one of the higher fantasy points to centers as well. So that could actually be a good day for his fantasy score as well. So because he gets a lot of rebounds and stuff too. They limit, that's actually bad, right? That means they're putting a lot of turnovers. I don't know why it's clearing. It should really be orange, I feel like. But yeah, should be pretty good fantasy points wise too for Karl Anthony Towns. We'll take a look at that one after, but points looks pretty good, I think, for Karl Anthony Towns. Number 5 here, let's take a look at this. So Karl Anthony Towns, he's actually right here, and they have him at 22.7, so barely over by 0.2 is where they project him for. So I think it could be a pretty good prop today. Definitely one taking a look at. Always do your own research. Use this as an outline if you guys wish for your own research, but I always encourage that. But we take a look at fantasy score here for him. Karl Anthony Towns, he's at 44, so 22, 46, so he's gone over that. Yeah, the 2 games where he hit the points. Yeah, he came close those 2 games, though, but didn't really come close to his fantasy score. So maybe points is the way to go. We take a look at rebounds as well. I'm not sure what he's been doing. I think he's been slacking a little bit on rebounds lately. Yeah, he definitely has. I'd probably take the points over the rebounds and fantasy score. So definitely take a look at Karl Anthony Towns on points. One of my favorite ones for the day, probably. But that will be finalized on my Patreon. Obviously, I'm going to do even more research after this video, but Jordan Poole here is the under guy I like for points. I love Jordan Poole, but I do not think he hits the over today. So Jordan Poole, he's at 17.5. Definitely looking to take this under. He's had 17-17, so he's kind of real close. He did against Cleveland, and he killed it against these 2 teams. Curry was out against Detroit. Curry was in against Toronto. So that's weird. That was a huge outlier. He destroyed the Raptors. But we're going to take a look at some more stuff here for Jordan Poole. So he's playing Portland. So let's take a look at that game real quick. Should be one of the later ones. It is 6-point spread, so it should get out of hand. Or it could get out of hand, but more than likely not. Should stay a little bit close. And then over-under is pretty high. So it's a lot of points being scored potentially. So that's not as good if you're looking to take the under. But he's starting a shooting guard going against CJ McCollum, more than likely. So let's take a look at this here. So Portland here are allowing the 4th least amount of points to the shooting guard position. So one of the ones that I definitely do like today is Jordan Poole under 4 shooting guard points, just based on the matchup, really. I really like the matchup for that, but he's only gone over, was it 3 times in those last 10? I think it was. I looked at it earlier. I think it was 3. Don't quote me on that, but I think he's only gone over 17.5 3 times. And in a game where he's ranking up against the 4th hardest points-wise against shooting guards, and Curry's playing, could be a pretty good way to go on the under for Jordan Poole. So let's go ahead and take a look at some more guys, though. I think we're going to switch over categories. Yeah, we're going to switch categories over. We're going to go ahead and go to assists here. I got 2 for you guys for assists, so let's take a look at that real quick. So assists here. Let's take a look at Bradley Beal. I believe they've moved Bradley Beal's number. He was 5 this morning. I really like him at 5. Probably not as much at 5.5. I don't even know if I want to talk about this one personally because it's just kind of hard. We'll take a look at the stats, though, against shooting guards just in case you guys do want to take a look at them. We'll go ahead and look at that for you guys. But shooting guard here. So shooting guard assists against Oklahoma City. So Oklahoma City is allowing the 5th most, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, the 5th most assists to the shooting guard position, so that could still be a good move. But I don't know. It kind of scares me that they moved that up. He's just the normal number on assists on most sports books, but I don't know. We're going to skip that one. But that's one definitely taking a look at, but I'm just not really going to touch it today, I don't think. Really like them at 5, not so much 5.5. Kind of want to stay away from that one, not as confident in that. CJ McCollum, though, 4 assists is one that I really do like. Portland going against the Warriors. We already talked about that game a little bit. He's gone over in 4 out of his last 5. He only missed against Denver by 1. He missed the push. So he has not had 4 assists like on that number in his last 10. It's kind of funny. I think he's hit like around 7 out of 10. It's around there. I don't know if that's the exact number, but I think he was around 7 out of 10. He's gone over 4 assists in his last 10. So could be a move for CJ McCollum over assists here. Let's take a look here at where he is starting tonight. Just got to make sure, and he is starting at shooting guard. We actually already saw that, but 6-point spread, high point total. That's nice. Should hopefully be a lot of assists. But the Warriors here, they're a little bit towards the top here when it comes to assists. They're a little bit in the middle, a little bit, they're on the edge. So they're between the middle, easier matchup, so it's all right. Decent matchup for him. He should be able to hit this over. They have not played Portland yet this year, so there's no past matchups to go off of, but he's one of the ones I'm kind of targeting today, I feel like. It could be a pretty solid one for him. Let's take a look at rebounds. This is another one of my favorites for the day, I think. But that is, where is he at? Clint Capella, 11.5 rebounds. I believe he's hit this in like 8 out of his last 10. But he's hit it 100% in his last 5. So 13, 14, 15, 12, and 16. So really good right there for Clint Capella. So yeah, let's take a look at the Hawks game here. Oh, we have a really early game, by the way, today. 3:30 Eastern. So that's actually like in 50 minutes. So I'm kind of, yeah, I'm on the edge of putting this video out. So I definitely got to hurry up and upload this. But really good here because there's not necessarily the point total is good for rebounds necessarily, but the spread here is really, really good. It's only 1 point. So maybe we get lucky and get an overtime. Clint Capella gets extra minutes, a couple extra rebounds. That could be nice. But Trae Young might not play. That could definitely hurt him. But I think he is going to go ahead and play. Says he's likely to play, so. But yeah, center going against Steven Adams. That's the only part that I'm kind of worried about, but still, Clint Capella's been killing it this year, man. I think he's got the most rebounds per game in the league right now. So take a look at Capella here. Where's he at? Come on. There he is. Okay, Clint Capella, they have him at 12.3 rebounds. So that's pretty good right there. They definitely do have him on the over. Let's take a look at his rebounds, though, against Memphis. So Memphis is one of the harder teams against rebounds. That's kind of scary. So that's the only thing that I'm really worried about matchup. But I don't really think it's that big of a deal because he's been killing it lately, man. He really has. Number 5 has him over. I think it's a pretty good idea to go ahead and take Capella on the over. But maybe you may be even able to take the points there. What do they have Capella for points? He's probably at like 11.5 points as well. They have him at 13.8. They're allowing a lot of points to him, or to the center position. So they might actually be allowing the most points to the center position. So let's take a look at that real quick. Maybe that's a route that we want to take instead of rebounds. Yeah, they have him at 11.5. Number 5 has him over. It doesn't look as good, though. He's only going over twice. but there were harder matchups, I think. Spurs, Thunder, and Celtics. Where are they at? Okay, yeah, the Spurs were towards the top for center points, so, and he went under against them, albeit by half a point. That was actually the game I was talking about where he screwed me by half a point. So should have gone the rebounds in that game, but I didn't, and he shafted me by half a point. So yeah, kind of sucks right there. Him and dude, I was pissed. Him and Sabonis, they screwed me on free throws too. I think Sabonis missed a free throw, and I was pretty pissed. But that happens in playing on PrizePicks and all those other sites. So Dinwiddie under 30 fantasy points is one that I do like. Is he still around there? Where is Dinwiddie here? But there he is, 30 fantasy scores. So he's gone under in 1, 2, 3 out of 5. Barely went over against the Pelicans, but pretty easy matchup, I feel like, for the Pelicans. So let's take a look at here the Wizards game here, and he is starting at point guard, going against Josh Giddey. But I don't. They have SGA starting at shooting guard. I'm pretty sure Josh Giddey would be starting at shooting guard, and SGA would be starting at point guard if he did play. Earlier they said he was unlikely to play, but I guess they changed that. I don't know. 7.5 point spread though, so that's pretty good for taking the under because there's a chance it could go out of hand, and I feel like Washington will let this one get out of hand here. They've had a pretty decent year, 11-7. They're kind of slowed down a little lately, but should be able to kind of knock off the Thunder pretty well. But let's take a look at point guard against the Thunder. Fantasy score. So against the Thunder here, yeah, they are one of the harder matchups against point guards, 5th hardest. So I definitely do like that for Spencer Dinwiddie on the under. Could be a pretty solid game. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they have not played yet this year. So that is something to note. Actually, right here is the other one I like, Lou Dort. So 26, I like him on the over. He's gone over 1 and 2. He's only gone over 2 out of 5, unfortunately. But if that's going to change if SGA plays. You definitely want to take a look at the SGA news. I thought he was not going to play, but now they changed it and they said he may not, or he's just a may not to play, toss up to play. So maybe don't lock this in quite yet. But let's go ahead though and change this here. Let's take a look at it though, just in case he doesn't play. So he would be starting at small forward. So let's take a look at small forward against the Wizards here. And the Wizards, where are they at here? The Wizards are one of the harder matchups actually for small forwards, fantasy points wise. But I do think he can still hit the over. Where do they have Lou Dort here? So they have him at 27.8 fantasy points. So they do have him on the over just slightly. So they agree with me there. But let's just see where they have Dinwiddie. We did not check that out. Whoops, don't want to pull that up. Dinwiddie. Okay, so they have Dinwiddie at 28.1. So they also have him on the under. So they agree with me. Number Fire and I, pretty good today. We're on the same page. But yeah, I feel like those are some good plays for you guys today. But be aware of the SGA news. Not sure if he's going to play. PrizePicks doesn't have him up, so I think they don't think he's going to play. So yeah. Basically, they had his number glitched the other night. I let my Patreon know. He was 7 points in the half, and he hit the under. He only had 6. Let's actually see it. Did they? They don't do that again, did they? Let's see where they have Baisley this game. Where's he at? Yeah, they bumped him back down. Last time he was at 7 points in the first half. So obviously took his under. He only had 6. So that was a glitch, I believe, because his full number for the whole game was like 10. And his first half number was 7. So it was kind of weird. So let my Patreon know that one. I definitely need to start a Discord for you guys. I will let you guys know in the Discord, but I'm still working on that one, trying to get that one up. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video, man. Again, if you guys are not already on PrizePicks, definitely recommend checking it out. Link is in my description as well as my Patreon. So that also helps me out, but that's going to do it. See you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.